The desert wind whispered across the barren ground as Moses stood alone on the rocky slope of Horeb, the weight of God's calling pressing heavily on his shoulders. His shepherd's staff, worn smooth by years of guiding sheep, rested in his hand, a symbol of the quiet life he had lived far from Egypt. But now, God was asking him to return, to confront the most powerful ruler in the world. Moses felt the tremble of doubt rise inside him. Would anyone believe him? Would Pharaoh listen? Then God gave him a sign that shattered the ordinary world around him. "Throw down your staff," God commanded. Moses hesitated only a moment before releasing the rod. It struck the ground with a dull thud, and instantly the wood twisted, coiled, and came alive, the staff elongated, its surface rippling like scales as it transformed into a serpent that hissed and writhed at Moses' feet. Startled, Moses stumbled backward, heart pounding, eyes wide with fear. The creature's body glistened in the desert light, its movements sharp and unpredictable. But God's voice cut through Moses' fear, steady and calm. "Reach out, take it by the tail." Every instinct told Moses to run, yet he stepped forward, hand trembling. As his fingers closed on the serpent's tail, the creature stiffened, and in an instant, the living form collapsed back into lifeless wood. Moses stood there, breathless, holding the staff once more. The miracle was undeniable. The God of his ancestors was with him, and his power would go before him. Days later, the scene shifted to the grand halls of Pharaoh's palace, towering columns, polished stone floors, and the cold, watchful eyes of Egypt's court. Moses and Aaron stood before the throne, two humble shepherds facing the ruler of an empire. The air was thick with incense and tension. At God's command, Aaron stepped forward. With a firm motion, he cast his staff onto the gleaming floor. The rod clattered, then twisted violently, transforming into a serpent that slithered across the marble. Gasps rippled through the court. Pharaoh's expression hardened. With a flick of his hand, he summoned his magicians, masters of illusion and dark arts. They stepped forward confidently, each throwing down their own staffs. To the astonishment of the court, their rods also transformed into serpents, writhing and hissing in defiance. But then something happened that silenced the room. Aaron's serpent turned coiled and lunged. One by one, it swallowed the serpents of the magicians, consuming them until only a single serpent remained, the one sent by God. The magicians stared in disbelief. Pharaoh's jaw tightened, and Moses knew this was no illusion, no trick. This was the power of the living God, displayed openly in the heart of Egypt. It was the first sign that the God of Israel would break every chain, confront every power, and overcome every force that stood against his people.